I love it more than the Glock 19 because I feel like I can handle it a whole lot better than the Glock 19. But I will be getting the Glock 19.
She's listening.
See?
Okay.
See?
I stayed at home all day because it's Texas and we got this whole freaking tundra came through. And,
yeah, man, y'all got hella snow.
Yeah, it wrecked house. I mean, we kept power the whole time, but it's not fun for a lot of people. I mean, it was fine for me just because you got the Essentials Water Power Food Company. You'll be okay, but a lot of families, a lot of folks didn't make it, period. And that's the sad part. Right. Not to get too deep and dark, but I'm just, praying for the people that are still here that they'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, but let's get started. As you know, this is a conversation, just talking about guns and your experiences, what you're doing these days. This conversation format is called Costly. Why? Because it's kind of an interesting take on the idea of free speech. Free speech was never free. It probably will never be free. So it's costly. And that being said, I don't plan on getting canceled today. So let's keep it keep it a buck. That being said, let's jump right into it. If you would just introduce yourself to the podcast. Is it a podcast?
Right.
Another podcast? Okay.
Yo, Reginald Justin. At Reginald Justin on Instagram, Reginald Cheeto Daggett on Facebook, Hot Cheeto on Snapchat, HOTCHEADLE. Yeah, man. From Chicago, 36. I got into guns. Maybe it's been a year and a half now. You know what I mean? So,
really?
I'm kind of deep in it, And it's crazy. Like, I've had other hobbies in my day, but this hobby, I'm like 1,000% in. You know what I mean? Like, this is not just like a hobby. This is just like a lifestyle, a way of life. My first hobby was music, playing the drums in church. I loved it because it was the family band, and that's what my dad wanted me to do. But, deep down, I was like, man, I want to do something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, got older, obviously, you know what I'm saying, drinking, partying, all that sort of stuff, joined the military, blah, blah, blah. And then I got into fitness, I was getting a little pudgy, and I've never been like a big dude, but I was getting a little pudgy. I was like, you know what, man, I can look like some of these Instagram dudes, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, straight up, like, I took on fitness as a hobby, man. Like, eating protein and veggies and all that sort of shit.
Straight shots.
Right. Apple cider vinegar 3 times a day, like all the whole thing, And then once I got the body I wanted, I was like, all right, well, like, I already did that. I'm good. But when I got into guns, I was like, man, like, this is something that I can really have some longevity in, Because you can't just keep cutting weight all the time.
I mean, it's
That's unhealthy.
It's kind of this weird back and forth. And a lot of folks I've seen get into fitness, they'll get into it for a season. They'll get right. They'll go to a competition, just straight up shredded, spray tanned up. I'm like, how do you talk?
Yeah.
And then they'll stop.
That's not sustainable. That's not a sustainable way of life. I mean, you can go to the gym every day and stuff like that, but I mean, that's keeping that competition body isn't a sustainable way of life.
Right.
But shooting guns and getting really, really good at a firearm.
Oh boy, here we go.
This is sustainable.
Yeah. What you got right there?
Like this is Glock 17, AD optic, Streamlight TRL1 light, just stock. I do run. Some people are going to hate me for this, but I run the generic ETS mags, the clear mags in these. And the reason why I love these mags, I know, see, there's a thing.
Hey, you know,
I love these mags.
It's just a stigma. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've never had anything go wrong with these mags.
Mm-hmm.
I love these mags. I run these mags in target ammo. I don't run these mags for self-defense ammo. So just for Full Metal Jacket, but I digress. But yeah, man, guns is just something sustainable, man. It's a skill where I feel like as long as I keep doing it and I keep it up, like it'll always get better. It'll never deteriorate, you know? So yeah, that's kind of my intro. You know, I didn't want to get too deep on the intro. But,
no, that's cool, dude. That's cool. Let people know what's going on. So I know you're out in Arizona. I know you got into training and shooting and teaching people how to get like you, because you know I've seen your videos. You're pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, I like what you do.
You know what's have you seen the progress though? Like there's been some. I feel like there's been some adequate progress over like when I started and where I am now. Absolutely. And honestly, it's just going out. I'm not a dry fire guy, if you could tell.
Yeah,
like,
no, I don't see a whole lot of dry fire. And to be fair, you don't. Just because I don't see something doesn't mean it's not happening. And I think people really do forget that just in life in general. Just because you don't see somebody, you know, praying or eating right or you know hitting the gym or whatever it is that makes you better doesn't mean that the cat's not doing it. So right. That being said, we know you're not just because you said you're not. you told us.
Man, I'm not a dry fire guy. I'm really cool. Not. I mean, and the reason I'm not, I should be. I'm not hating everybody on dry fire. Yeah, everybody should be doing dry fire for sure. But I have an amazing girl that allows me to go out to the range whenever I fucking want and don't ask no questions, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's kind of the reason why I don't dry fire too much. I'm going to switch my thing around real quick. This is kind of my work area right here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I work from home. So a lot of my dry fire is just kind of reloading and unloading all the time.
Just mechanics.
You know Yeah, just mechanics and stuff like that, you know? Thumb release. I really wanted to get good at the thumb release. So I probably do thumb release, you know, slide lock, thumb release stuff, probably like 50 times a day, you know? I lock it back and just hit it, you know? Yeah. So I do some, you know, dry fire stuff, but for the most part, I just go to the range, man. I go to these indoor ranges in town. I drive 30, 40 miles and go out to the middle of the desert. And I just, you know, I put rounds down range, you know, and a lot of guys don't have that opportunity. And I'm really, really lucky and grateful that I do, you know? So I probably put a good 1,500 to 2,000 rounds down range a month, you know, and
that's expensive in itself. Like that,
bro, in this ammo shortage, bro, it's crazy. Dog. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I started off on Smith & Wesson SD9. That was my first gun that I bought, 40 caliber. And I realized that, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of aftermarket stuff for Smith & Wesson for the SD9. So I sold that, and then I switched over to the Glock 17. This is Glock 17, pretty standard, full-size weapon. I love this. I really, really love this. I love it more than the Glock 19 because I feel like I can handle it a whole lot better than the Glock 19. But I will be getting the Glock 19.
She's listening.
See?
Okay.
See?
Don't talk about her. She's in the room.
Right. I will be getting the Glock 19 though.
It's just added to the collection. While you're at it, get the 43X, and you know while you're get a new AR,
26, like all those, you know.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, that's my primary training weapon, firearm that I use. And I do a lot of pistol stuff. I don't do a lot of rifle stuff. I do have.
I mean, I've seen you do some rifle stuff. So
yeah. I do have a 9mm AR platform rifle that I shoot. And I love it because I can use Glock mags in that, and I can use Glock mags in the pistol, obviously.
Yeah. So, do you have any problems with it? Because a lot of folks, you know, if you ask them like, "Hey, I want to get into ARs, but I don't," you know, they'll be like, "Well, you know, you don't want to those pistol caliber carbines." You know, they'll start to say stuff. What's your take?
PSA makes an amazing PX9. Okay. with the EOTech. I got the EOTech on there.
You went big and got the EOTech.
Yeah, man, I had to. This is.
How do you like it though? Because I was like, man,
I love it.
I'm building a rifle, or AR pistol, going 12.5 on it. But I was like, for optics, I'm like, okay, people are hyping the Holosuns. People are hyping the. I like my Vortex. $200, unlimited warranty.
Yeah,
but
I would. If I could go back, honestly, and I'm not saying anything bad about EOTech, but if I could go back, I would choose a Vortex.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vortex is just more my style.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say anything about the EOTech though.
I mean, it's a thing of beauty right there. It looks rugged. It looks durable.
Thanks, man. Man. Like I put this pistol has probably about 4,000 rounds through it. No jams, no failure feeds, like nothing.
Nice.
Like I would buy 30 of these if I could, honestly. And this is the 10.5 inch as well. So yeah.
That's awesome. I like it. All right. So I know recently you and I were having conversations about you wanted to get into training a couple months back, and then all of a sudden you did it. Now, there's a difference between people who want to do a thing and people who actually do a thing. Like I've been wanting to do some sort of podcast thing for a long time. It didn't work out for a reason. That being said, we're here today. And you're here today doing some training stuff. I saw you out there training some ladies, I guess, showing them how to shoot or shoot better.
Right.
What's all that about? What's going on?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I was on Instagram. I was just kind of flipping through all the gun stuff and all the profiles that I see. And I honestly saw some horrible information.
Yeah.
Like I really, really did. Like, let me give a little bit of synopsis on my background. I joined the Air Force back in 2006, military police, did some rescue stuff as well. I saw some horrible information on Instagram, and I was just like, yo. So I reached out to the person, and I made sure, like, I came to him a different kind of way. I made sure I was like, hey, have you ever tried this instead of what you're doing? And I sent them a YouTube video. And this person just wasn't receptive at all. So I was like, all right, you know what, whatever. I tried, whatever. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do things a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? I want my knowledge and my expertise to get out there in a different way. So I was like, I'm going to start teaching. So I put an ad out, and I had these two ladies just jump on it right away, you know? And these two young ladies, they were, I think one worked for immigration, and the other one was Border Patrol, I think. I think she was Border Patrol. And, I just kind of broke it down. Like, I was super observant at first. And I think what's really key is to observe how people are shooting first. Right. Okay. I think a lot of instructors, they kind of jump in and want to be macho and have the ego and like, okay, you should do this. Like, no, you got to watch how people shoot first. That way you can critique, make suggestions, make recommendations, and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, if they already know how to pick up a gun and point and shoot, then there's some limitations on what you can just say without actually seeing. So that makes perfect sense to me. Exactly.
And it was just a great experience, man. Like, those are my first two clients. And, I mean, we got their shot groups real tight,
That's awesome.
Working on doing a second session with them. And it's been a little slow. It's honestly been a little slow for training, just because of COVID and, people are kind of waiting on their taxes and different things like that. No, I don't give free lessons to anybody who wants to ask that, because rounds ain't free.
No, they're not.
You know what I mean?
Unfortunately not.
Right. No, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like I just want to push out knowledge and just, want to produce accurate shooters here in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. So, yeah. And I typically push out my training to African Americans, because I think Black people are just so behind the curve when it comes to guns. gun safety, gun ownership, you know, just the knowledge of how to treat your weapon, you know, like, you know, grip and all that. So Black people are just so behind the curve, so behind the curve. So, you know, I just want to do my part to you know, to push that knowledge out.